again. Although I was late going to university, I was so naive when I was there. Gosh, I thought the professors were sort of gods. And I didn't see the Marxist agenda at all. Although we had to learn all about Marxism, if we hadn't known before, in the first year, and various other things as well: colonialism, post-colonialism, structuralism, post-structuralism, modernism, post-modernism. Although Marxism was not part of the agenda, part of the curriculum, it never struck me till almost about now that it was a Marxist agenda. And when I went on from my English BA to my Gender Studies MA, I was incredibly confused by the fact that it had an awful lot more to do with culture than it had to do with gender. Gender being at that time widely understood to be a construct. Sex is the given, what you are at birth, and gender is the societal construct. The construct that says, for example, that girls should wear pink and boys should wear blue. That girls should wear dresses and boys should wear trousers, all that. That girls should be quiet and boys should be noisy. That is gender, a construct, societal expectations. And that was what I was interested in. That's been turned on its head now, because every person who calls him or herself transgender actually means transsexual. You can't be trans, an abstract concept, construct. You can't be trans, something that doesn't exist in a tangible form. That aside, as I say, it was all about culture. And I knew myself so little at the time that when I became bored to tears with it and found I couldn't write anymore, I put it down to writer's block. The tutor put it down to burnout. And what it actually was that I wasn't interested in what she was teaching, what they were teaching. I was interested in gender, not culture. Now, of course, they're said to be inseparable, which is a little bit problematic because gender doesn't actually exist and culture rather clearly does. It's still an intangible, of course. And I don't find it any excuse, to be honest, when people say, oh, that's not a religious practice, it's a cultural one. I think, well, bloody change it then. Cultures can evolve if they let themselves. And I also find it ironic that just as the American left is beginning to embrace socialism, I am beginning to reject socialism. As far as I'm concerned, most of the people on the far left are insane and intolerant. And if you don't like what they say, they call you every name under the sun. They decide that you're stupid. A lot of four-letter words are in there as well, and I've used them too. Much more than I used to, actually, since I started using Facebook. Because, to be honest, in the end, well, if you are sensible, you will back out of an argument with an idiot. If there's no reasoning a person, you just leave the argument. Otherwise, you stoop to their level, because if you cannot make yourself understood, and you're me, you start swearing. Especially if you're being sworn at. So now, as I say, America is beginning to think socialism is not quite so bad. Look at Bernie Sanders. I think, as I said in a previous video, that he would be disastrous for America, simply because they would have the massive influx of Islam that we have already, and they would become a caliphate. And a large part of my reason for voting out of the EU was not to become a caliphate, to never be part of a caliphate, to never have to imagine my daughters and my granddaughter in burqas or under Sharia law. That was part of my reason for voting out. Dutch ladies who've lived here for 41 years were no part of my reason for voting out. And Ukrainian men who've lived here for, I think, about the same length of time, if not longer. I think perhaps his parents were here first. They are no part of my reason for voting out. Why would they be? I suppose it's a ramble. Things are certainly confusing now, because we seem to have voted out of the United Kingdom as well. We're split in half. England and Wales have voted out. Scotland and Northern Ireland have voted in. I'm not quite sure what Northern Ireland is doing about this at the moment, because if they vote to become a republic, well, the IRA has won, has it not? But then, as I have no fondness for the UDA, I'm not sure I would really care. I wouldn't care if Northern Ireland became a republic. And in fact, it would be better, because they could be a republic along with Southern Ireland, and we wouldn't need border controls to keep the EU out, not from Ireland anyway. If Scotland, however, goes with its crazy idea, well, Nicola Sturgeon's crazy idea, of getting independence from the UK and then joining the EU, we would need border controls between Scotland and England. We would need to rebuild Hadrian's Wall, build it high, build it strong, and have strong border controls. I don't know. I don't know that I actually care if the UK is broken up. I like Scotland. I like Ireland. I love Wales. I live in it. Scotland is a beautiful country. Ireland is a beautiful country. It doesn't really bother me whether we become Scotland, Northern Ireland, Southern Ireland, England, Wales, and drop the whole United Kingdom pretense. That doesn't bother me. We can all be little republics for all I care, as long as we're not in the damned EU. Article 50, please.